YouTube drama update. So TheOdd1sOut basically has name dragged to the mud these past 24 hours, and he just responded, and it's not what people expected. Here's a quick recap. It all stemmed from this post, a leaked Discord message from one of the former artists on the team, basically saying the entire art staff was fired without notice. And this caused a lot of uproar on the internet, saying this felt very unjust and painting TheOdd1sOut as some evil, devious man out there. But his response might surprise you. He made a pretty long response on Twitter, and we're gonna break it up and highlight the key parts. He does clarify that he still has an animation team. That's a little weird. Why would the former employees lie and say the entire staff got fired? He basically continues by acknowledging all the hard work his previous employees have done for him. He always mentions that his team size is always fluctuating, so there's always a turnover on staff. It's also important to note that this is not a reflection on anyone's specific talent or behavior. This was just his own personal choice and how he wants to continue to grow his channel. He then further talks about how he had a one-on-one conversation with each of his employees and had more of a face-to-face conversation with them. He clarified this wasn't some just spur-of-the-moment breakup that he had with his team, and that this was kind of something in the works. This was what I find the most interesting, is that he provides severance packages to all of his full-time freelancers. That's actually insanely crazy and pretty admirable. A lot of companies don't even do this, like actual corporate companies. So to see a YouTuber of all people being able to, end off on good terms with their employees is pretty remarkable. He mentioned this is not something he wanted to share publicly, which is, yeah, it's pretty sad because he kind of got bullied into a corner for this. But since there's so much attention, he feel like he had to clear things up. In the final page, he mentions how this wasn't a very easy decision for him to talk about, and he's always happy to serve as a reference for future employments for these artists. And one of the main reasons why he made this abrupt decision is he thought it would be unfair to keep these artists and not let them go on to do bigger and better projects. Because if you're an employee with a company, but you only get paid for actually doing the work and you have no work, then you're kind of just in financial limbo. He apologized with how sudden this fell and was extremely hesitant. Again, he wishes they could work with everyone in the artist community, but it's just not realistic. And this is one of the more important parts, that he linked everyone's socials that he's worked with in the past in that Twitter post, which you can see right here in the replies, which is quite a roster. There's a lot of feelings to have with this one. I think this is a classic example why you just don't feed into the discourse that is of Twitter and just the greater internet when more personal stuff like this comes around. It does feel sad that he pretty much got bullied into a corner to share this kind of stuff. It's important to know that he didn't go into really key specifics on why he's scaling back, kind of just talk more broadly. But to be fair, it's not really the public's business. It's just for him to do. Doing all this research made me realize that a lot of people just hate this guy for no reason. Sure, a lot of creators on the internet have their own controversy for doing, maybe scams or just weird behaviors in the past. This guy, objectively just did nothing wrong. He just had to make a business decision, and people on the internet were just a little unhappy with it. Someone put this in the replies of the original post, and I think this summarizes perfectly. Wait, so you mean this whole situation was a perfectly normal situation that got blown out of proportion by idiots on the internet who lack rational thought and reasoning? Shocker. Let this be a lesson that it's always important to hear every side to any situation, because it's very easy to just paint someone the villain. And you shouldn't do that. And yeah, that's all I really got. Bye-bye.